So I've done something a little reckless. We just spent the night at the Miracosta on the eve of the grand opening of Fantasy Springs here at DisneySea. Yes, the budget is going to really struggle, but we are quickly approaching our 1-year anniversary of the date that we left on this travel adventure, and there is, in my mind, no better way to celebrate than by staying at the Miracosta and hopefully getting into Fantasy Springs. Goodbye, amazing view. Time for us to go line up to get in. How are we feeling? What are our chances?
I don't know. We got up pretty early, so hopefully good.
Let's go. Don't mind all the luggage. Okay, we have made it outside and we're already sitting in a line waiting to go into DisneySea. It is 6 a.m, so it is 3 hours before opening. And as of the time of filming this, there are currently 2 main ways you can get into Fantasy Springs. First of all, you can obtain a 1-day passport, and the way to do that is by either staying at the Fantasy Springs Hotel or by booking a vacation package, which Fantasy Springs Hotel actually opened today, so we couldn't stay there last night, and vacation package was even further out of our price range than a night at the Miracosta. Now, whether or not you pay for that pass, I think depends on which option you choose. I believe if you choose the vacation package, it's included. If you stay at the Fantasy Springs Hotel, you have to pay for it. And the other way that you can get into Fantasy Springs is by obtaining a Disney Premier Access pass or a standby pass. And you do that through the app, and it's going to be very competitive. You can't do that until you scan your ticket in and you're in the park. Now this is where us staying at the Miracosta comes in handy. Because we stayed at the Miracosta, we get happy entry this morning. So we actually get into the park at 8 a.m, scan in, and hopefully get a ride pass or 2 into the Fantasy Springs area. We thought that getting here at 6 a.m, 2 hours before our happy entry starts, would be early enough. Evidently not in Japan. There are, I think, at least 200 people in front of us right now. I didn't even know that many people were staying at the Miracosta. It's okay. Manifesting. Today we have 5 goals that we're going to try and achieve. Number 1, we're going to go on the Frozen ride. Number 2, we're going to go on the Tangled ride. Number 3, we're going to get some Fantasy Springs food. 4, Fantasy Springs merchandise. And 5, have a magical day. It's funny because all of those goals, I guess bar 1, rely on us getting into Fantasy Springs, but I'm optimistic. I really think it's going to happen. Get these tickets, hopefully. We're going to Fantasy Springs! Yo!
Oh my god, that was so stressful. Arigatou gozaimasu.
Oh,
Free stickers for the opening of Fantasy Springs. Oh my god, it's so magical. What a momentous day to be a part of.
Yeah, this is really special.
So we have booked rides. We've got a Premier Access for the Frozen ride, and Rosh has booked a standby pass for this morning for the Tangled ride. So we're going on those 2 rides. Hopefully we can get on another one of the 2, but it's probably unlikely. Look at all the castles. I'm like a celebrity. I'm the queen. Tokyo Disney is just elite. Oh, look at that snazzy outfit.
Oh my gosh, he's never looked better. Stace thinks that maybe something's happening at the front of Fantasy Springs.
It'd be like a little celebration.
We're seeing a lot of people make their way there, but also people in like fancy attire, suits, people that seem high up at DisneySea. So we're just gonna go have a little snoop, see if anything's happening, and then we'll go and ride some rides.
Our primary goal today is to film and do as much as we can in Fantasy Springs because it is the opening day, but we will be coming back to DisneySea in a couple of weeks, so we'll be sure to do anything we miss out on today because this is one of our favourite parks in the world and we love it so much.
Also, sorry if it's really loud, but to be fair, we're standing in front of a volcano, so.
We got the passes, guys. We have been stressed about this day since April when we purchased our ticket for DisneySea, the day they released. And we were originally going to be staying in an Airbnb and we were like, we're going to have to get up at 3 a.m. to get in line.
As we're walking to the Fantasy Springs area, let's talk a little bit about Fantasy Springs, what it is, what it means for DisneySea. DisneySea is already quite a large park, and I think from memory, last time we were here, we walked like 20 kilometers. So we'll have a bit of a tally today. We'll see how far we can go. I think, and correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but I think Fantasy Springs is the biggest expansion of any Disney park ever. Faye says it's definitely the biggest expansion of DisneySea ever. It's rumored to have cost, I think, $2.1 billion US. In terms of size, it's an expansion of 140,000 square meters. For anyone from Australia, the MCG is 20,000 square meters. So I think, if my maths are correct, it's like 7 MCGs. That's huge. And it's 3 new themed areas within the space of Fantasy Springs. We have a Rapunzel area, we have a Frozen themed area, and we have a Peter Pan themed area where there's 2 attractions, Peter Pan ride and a Tinkerbell ride. If there's one thing that DisneySea is known for, it is its incredible theming. There is no park like DisneySea, so that is why we're particularly excited to see this new expansion.
Watch me now, here I go. Some people are worth melting for.
Guys, the entrance to Fantasy Springs is incredible, to say the least. The rock work is amazing. I'm standing here looking at Rapunzel. The waterfall runs down with her hair, and there's actually like golden paint throughout the rock as well in her hair. It's just, as I said before, DisneySea does these things so well, and I don't know why I'm surprised, because of course they've done this well. And we're not even inside yet. But before we go and explore Fantasy Springs for the first time ever, we want to say a big thank you to Klook for our tickets today. Booking tickets with Klook is so easy. You can do it right there in the app, and they have so many different experiences you can choose from. Throughout our year of travel so far, we have done this and this and this and this with Klook. They have so many different things, experiences, activities to do, and if you use our code GOFORLAUNCH, you can get 10% off your first purchase. We highly recommend, and if you're lucky like us, you can come and explore Fantasy Springs, which is what we're going to do now. So let's go. All right, entering Fantasy Springs for the first time. We got a forward POV and a us POV.
Wow. Oh my god, it's huge.
Whoa, it is huge. First up, we are here in Rapunzel's Forest. We're going to explore the area before we go on our first ride of the day, Rapunzel's Lantern Festival. And already I can see a part of the ride. Rapunzel is up there in her tower, and we can see her, even though we're not on the ride yet. There's a little area where you can stand and actually see her poking her head out of the tower, singing her song. Also, just in case you're not aware, this area is themed to the movie Tangled, which is essentially the story of Rapunzel. Without reason, it kind of lacks representation in the Disney parks because it is a very popular movie. I think it was a pretty successful movie, but until now, that is, because this is a whole area dedicated to that movie, those characters. It's going to be pretty amazing. We're already noticing the subtle touches like the theming of the lamps and the lights, also the bird noises, and so much greenery because we are in Rapunzel's Forest. The only thing that's throwing me off that belief is that I can see the top of a pirate ship and some volcanoes in the background from what I think is the Peter Pan area, but not complaining.
No, we can't see anything.
That's a different storybook. So there is a counter-service restaurant here in Rapunzel's Forest area. It's called the Snuggly Duckling, themed after that establishment from the movie. So hopefully we can go and check that out a little bit later. And Rapunzel's Lantern Festival is the one ride in this area as well. One of the 4 brand new attractions in Fantasy Springs.
It's time for us to ride our first ride in Fantasy Springs.
This is exciting.
It's gonna be super special. We also managed to get a standby for Peter Pan.
Yeah, we've done very well.
So 3 of the 4, we kept refreshing, and there actually were standby passes popping up for Frozen. Granted, they disappeared so quickly, so just keep refreshing. All the Disney Premier Access was sold out by about 8:30 in the morning. Super quickly they all went. I've tried refreshing because we are eligible to book another one, but nothing popping up. So better chance at getting a standby pass, but we're just so grateful to be here. As people who visit Disney quite frequently, it's not very often you get to ride not only 1 brand new ride, but 3 brand new attractions in one day. So we're feeling pretty lucky. It's been
very lucky.
So exciting riding a new attraction, seeing it with fresh eyes for the very first time. You never get that back. We're very excited. Oh my god, look at the queue, the lanterns. We have avoided, as best we can, all spoilers about any of the rides or the land itself. There were previews, there were soft openings, there was a media preview. haven't watched any of the videos, so it's all going to be nice and fresh.
We actually rewatched Tangled just the other day in preparation for this ride, so it's fresh in our mind. I'm expecting good things from this ride.
I'm so giddy. While there aren't heaps of thrill rides in Tokyo DisneySea or Tokyo Disneyland, the rides are known for their immaculate theming. The amount of effort that goes into these rides and the theming, and just, it's nothing like you'll see at any other park.
Happy?
Mm-hmm. So clear.
Okay, immediate first thoughts after our first ride on Rapunzel's Lantern Festival. Stace, what did you think?
It's very good, very beautiful.
It was a very pretty ride.
It's hard to believe that Disney's not done, or like a Disney park has not done a ride like that.
Because Tangled was popular.
Theoretically such a simple concept of the boat, considering the movie, but...
Right, it's probably the prettiest Disney ride I've ever been on. The colours, the lights, it was so pretty. My only complaint is that it's too short. That's me being selfish because I want more. I want more of like the beautifulness.
But now it's time to leave the world of Tangled and go explore Neverland.
Already I'm noticing differences in the themes of the lamppost. This one's more bamboo. When we compare it to the one in Rapunzel's forest, we've got those volcanoes in the distance and then a massive pirate ship. And you can actually walk onto the pirate ship, so of course that's what I'm gonna do. Well, it wouldn't be a pirate ship without some questionable liquids. All right, I better get off the ship before they make me walk the plank. Well, I have to say that was pretty cool. There are a lot of cool little photo spots and bits and pieces you can play around with. I think kids would have a blast up on that pirate ship. You can truly feel like a pirate, or you could feel like Rose from Titanic. Pick your fancy. I've stumbled across a shipwreck. It seems like some people were captaining under the influence. Don't drink and sail, folks. I am a little bit concerned about the size of these footprints. I am gonna guess that maybe one of the Lost Boys or some of the Lost Boys stumbled across the wreckage and that they didn't actually have anything to do with the wreckage. Innocent until proven guilty. And again, I can hear bird sound effects in this area, but totally different birds to the ones that I heard in the Tangled area. A bit more exotic, and I love that. Disney is so good at that, and that's something I kind of picked up on our VIP tour that we did years ago at Walt Disney World. We did a Magic Kingdom VIP, like hidden secrets tour. We made a video on it, so you can check that out. We'll put that in the description. It was really interesting. We want to do another one day. After doing that tour, I'm so like hyper aware of things like that. Really concerned about the Lost Boys now. That does not look like cordial. Guys, I am an absolute sucker for footprints in theme parks. And look, it's the Lost Boys footprints heading into their campsite. I also love how the greenery is totally different to what you see in Rapunzel's forest. Again, these plants look so much more exotic, almost like plants what you would see in the Avatar land in Animal Kingdom. Maybe not as fluorescent. Speaking of the Avatar land, we love Animal Kingdom, one of our favourite parks. We actually went there a few months ago, and if you want to see that video, we will put that in the description below. You can watch that next. If you haven't noticed, we're really big Disney fans. I've noticed something really interesting or really cool in Peter Pan's Neverland. It's really far away though, and I only stumbled across it in this like specific section of the park. I went closer and I couldn't see it anymore, so I'm going to zoom in. It's teepee tents up in the mountains, and it makes it look like they're really far away when they're not, but it's that like perspective trick, I think. So Peter Pan's Neverland already feels giant compared to Rapunzel's forest. It has to be, because it's got this big pirate ship in this little harbour area. It has a big skull in the rock face, and then those magical looking volcanoes up in the sky with those cartoony like clouds. I have to say that's my favourite part of this land. The other reason it has to be so big, I suppose, is because there's two rides here. There's not only Peter Pan's Neverland Adventure, but also the Tinkerbell ride, which we'll hopefully get to go on a bit later. But speaking of Peter Pan's Neverland Adventure, I think it's our time to go in now, so let's go check that ride out. Okay, that animation was incredible. We could see the shadow behind Peter, so that was very impressive. I know it's a thing in the movie because his shadow is a character, but you could see it, so it made him look more 3D. I don't really know the premise of the ride. My Duolingo isn't that advanced. I have been studying Japanese, but we're on some sort of adventure with Peter, I think, and the Lost Boys.
Glasses of Kane, we are about to head on Peter Pan. Wow, that was incredible.
That was definitely the best 3D like animation type thing I've ever seen, whether it be in a movie or a theme park. I swear at one point the character was not in front of the boat, like it was in the boat. It didn't make sense.
I'm not a big 3D ride person. I love actually moving, but there are exceptions, and I would liken it a little bit to Flight of Passage. Different ride vehicle, but very picturesque and very beautiful,
clear, like detailed.
Yeah.
And the ride does move. It's a bit like Ratatouille, like it sways because you're on a ship, right? I highly rate that ride. I actually think I prefer it to the Tangled one, which coming into the park, I thought Tangled would be up there for me. I wasn't hugely excited for the Peter Pan ride, but that is a very good ride.
Definitely.
Guys, this place is so awesome. When the music starts playing, the ticking of the clock, like from in the movie, when the crocodile or the alligator is coming by, the cast members start doing it with their arms.
Now before we check out the third and final area here in Fantasy Springs, it's time for us to check out some of the Fantasy Springs merchandise, and we are doing that here at Fantasy Springs Gifts, which is at the Fantasy Springs Hotel, which is beautiful, by the way. We'll definitely show you a bit of the exterior of that. But we are waiting in a really big line to go inside. It's a very popular place to be today, as expected, but hopefully we can find something really cool to celebrate this day.
Okay, we are in the merchandise store. We're starting off with the Peter Pan merchandise. What do we think? Look at the little tail. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. We have a nice Nana represent t-shirt. That's Nana. But hello to my Nana if you're watching, Nana. Hi. Stace is considering purchasing this t-shirt for, as she put it, the momentous occasion of today. It has your typical Fantasy Springs characters. Stace, don't you think I look foxy? So Stace is desperate to buy something Fantasy Springs themed because it's, it is a momentous day. I think that these Lost Boys hats count as something Fantasy Spring themed. Also, let's just say our next Disney holiday that we have planned is potentially going to be somewhere or at a time that's pretty chilly. So I can justify getting a hat like this. And Mum, if you're watching and you pick us up from the airport when we do eventually come home, I will be wearing this hat. We have some nice Tangled themed Mickey ears right here. There is so much Peter Pan merchandise in here.
I feel like just the most Peter Pan.
Yeah, but it was a good ride. Yeah. We also have some Arendelle themed ears, which are royal. We're in trouble. Oh no.
I feel like that's a good momentum of the day.
Yeah. Are you doing that over the t-shirt?
I'm still thinking about a t-shirt.
Oh jeez. We have little notebooks for each ride, new ride for today. They're kind of cool, I like them. How much?
$12.
12 Australian dollars. That's not
$3
crazy. That's not bad. Don't do it. Don't do it. So we've got enough. We've got enough. Alright, we're out of the Fantasy Springs merchandise store now. And I am on protection duty because somebody
Time for my big transformation.
is getting transformed in the corner of the Fantasy Springs Hotel.
Everyone can watch.
Whoa!
It's family friendly.
So
comfy.
You've heard of the Lost Boys. Let me show you the Lost Girl. Hey, do you need some help? Do you know where you are?
I'm lost.
But the outfit is not complete. Stace, come on, take it away. I'll cover the camera for the grand reveal. Folks, I present to you the Lost Girl has been found. How cool! Show me the back of the t-shirt. Oh, it's the Lost Boys and Stacy with a cute little fox beanie type thing.
I highly recommend these t-shirts. These are next level comfort.
Yeah.
They're oversized to one size fits all. Because it's meant to be like a big baggy look and they're so comfortable.
Round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Oh no, she's lost again. Yoo-hoo! Also, if you guys are new around here, I'm Rosh, that's Stace, and we've been traveling the world coming on 12 months. We've been all over the place, but managed to sprinkle in a little, or maybe a lot of Disney along the way. We've been to Walt Disney World, we've been to Disneyland Paris, California Adventure in LA, and we even got to go on the first ever Disney cruise in Australian waters. And now we're in Japan for the opening of Fantasy Springs. It is safe to say we love our Disney. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, because there is a lot of Disney content to come. There is so much to see in and just outside of Fantasy Springs. It's funny, I said to Stace, let's go look at the rocks, but it's so intricate and detailed. You could spend ages standing here working out different shapes, characters in the rocks. It's a little bit like Animal Kingdom's tree in that sense. It's so pretty. And here he is himself, the man, the myth, the mouse, Sorcerer Mickey, working his magic in front of the Fantasy Springs Hotel. Oh, and I can even see the mops in the background from Fantasia. So you just keep seeing new things. The longer you look at the rocks, the more you uncover.
Okay, now that my merchandise is secured and we've explored 2 of the lands, time is flying by and we're ready for a bite to eat. So we're going to the Snuggly Duckling here, which is a Tangled theme counter service restaurant. Now all the food restaurants, as I believe at the moment, are all mobile order only, meaning you have to order on your mobile to go in. And the times fill up very quick. When we opened the app, the earliest we could get was about 3:40 p.m. and it's 20 to 12. So it's a while. We spent about 5 minutes just going out, back in, refreshing, and eventually we got one for right now. So we're gonna go in and pick up our food.
So this counter service restaurant is themed to the Snuggly Duckling from the Tangled movie, which is where Flynn Rider at the time brings Rapunzel to kind of freak her out about the real world. There's a lot of rough characters, but it turns out they're not actually so rough. So I'm expecting to see a lot of evidence of hooligan activity. That looks like evidence of hooligan activity, alright. Now, where have I seen that satchel before? Somebody's head definitely got smashed there.
Something that's worth noting as well, we placed our order and then realised we'd forgotten to order dessert, and we were able to just go in, update our order, add it in, and still the same pickup time. So you can alter your order if you want to make a change.
Really handy.
And now we're just waiting for them to let us know it's ready.
Yay! If you ever try to steal Rapunzel's crown.
We've got very basic food. I have a cheeseburger. Rosh has the plant-based burger. Got some chips, but it's our dessert. That looks pretty good. So I'm gonna chew through this so we can get to that yummy dessert.
It's the moment we've all been waiting for. The special, I believe it's a tart in this plastic frying pan, but it's all about the way it looks. And I would say that the presentation is pretty good. We can see that the lemon flavored icing cream on top is curled like Rapunzel's hair, and it's got the flower in the hair as well. And then I believe it's some sort of like strawberry sauce and a singular blueberry. Love it. We bought it because it came in a frying pan, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. Also, Stacey didn't get any cutlery, so that's why I'm pulling it apart with my fingers. Sorry, didn't mean for that to sound like a stab at Stace. Oh, told you. Rapunzel's hair is very lemony. It tastes kind of like a pancake or like a firm croissant. In terms of taste, I would say it's okay. So would I recommend getting it? For the taste, no. Whoopsies.
It's not bad. I mean, lemon's not my thing, but if you like lemon, I think you'll like it.
I would like to know what happened here. A bit suspicious.
I'm just lost.
There's 2 of us now. Which way are we going? Where are we going? Where am I? Where am I? Do you get it? We're lost.
Just a note, we are aware that the Lost Boys are not called the Lost Boys because they're lost.
They're lost in the sense they don't have a home.
I believe that's the premise.
They know where they are. They're in Neverland.
While we watched Tangled in preparation for today, we did in fact not watch Peter Pan.
To be fair, we started watching Peter Pan and then the father kicked Nana out of the house and I was like, that's it! I'm not watching it anymore!
So it is now time to explore the 3rd and final area here in Fantasy Springs, which is Anna and Elsa's Frozen Kingdom. As we wander in, there is a little bulletin board with all different things. There is a note saying that the gates are open and everyone is invited to Arendelle Castle. There is a babysitter post for our good old friend Sven. He's needing someone to watch him. Obviously, key criteria, you must love reindeers. Though, something I've noticed here in this land is it seems to have the theming that extends the furthest away, if that makes any sense whatsoever. You have the big frozen mountains in the background where Elsa obviously goes to hide away. You've got the big Arendelle Castle, extends everywhere you look, which is truly incredible. There is one ride here in Anna and Elsa's Frozen Kingdom, which is Anna and Elsa's Frozen Journey, which we will definitely be going on. There are also a few different options for food. The main one is the Royal Banquet of Arendelle, which we're all cordially invited to according to the sign on the notice board. However, it is a hard one to snag a reservation to, or a mobile order, I believe it is. It's not been available at all during the day, but we still hold hope we might be able to snag a mobile order before the day is up. And you will find the Royal Banquet of Arendelle inside Arendelle Castle. But that is the main one, but there is also a more casual kind of food kiosk. Not so much of a counter service, a little bit less casual than that, but more than like a food stand type thing. So they have some options there as well.
The Kingdom of Arendelle certainly feels grand. It's huge. I'm walking across like a moat right now.
Honestly, exploring Fantasy Springs, especially for the first time, is kind of a full day activity. We have not done anything outside of Fantasy Springs today, aside from visit one or two shops. We've not ridden a single ride that's not in Fantasy Springs. We've not eaten outside of Fantasy Springs. There's just so much to explore. Obviously with the 4 rides, there are so many different food options, merchandise as well, and just exploring all the theming of a new land, because it's not every day that a whole new land is created in a theme park and done as well as this. We feel very lucky to be here for its opening and get to explore it in all its glory, and we've been very lucky on the ride basis, getting to hop on 3 of the 4 rides. Hopefully, I'm still holding out hope we will get on that 4th ride before the day is up. We spoke about the lights and the lanterns in the Tangled area of the park, but you can see clearly how different they are here in the Frozen Kingdom. Just even the thickness of the wood is different here, the style of the lamp. Just all the details, and even the noises here are so different as well. You can hear the wind, obviously, a storm is a brewing, but I swear to God I heard a goat before, which was a bit weird, but oh jeez.
I think Stace and I could have both used a little bit more of this today, unfortunately. Now that we have explored the area of Arendelle, it's time for us to go and see Anna, Elsa and Olaf. So this is the ride that Stace bought the DPA for, Disney Premier Access Pass. It was 2,000 yen, which is about 20 Australian dollars. Very popular ride. I've heard amazing things. Hopefully it's as good as what I've made it out to be in my mind. Yeah.
I've seen a bit of water on the floor, so... And unlike Tangled, where we did not have any restraints, we do have a lap bar.
What does that mean?
We have to take our hats off, so... I know what that means. I know what that one means, let me tell you.
Oh, going on. We're going real up to Elsa's castle. You thought it was going to be a big one. That was good. Alright, so we have done 3 of the 4 rides here in Fantasy Springs. We're not sure if we'll get on the Tinkerbell ride today. We're going to do our best.
We've been refreshing that standby pass for hours.
Yeah.
Everything else has popped up except Tinkerbell.
But what I do have to say is if you are coming to Fantasy Springs soon, in my opinion, I think the ride that you cannot miss is Frozen.
Gotta be Frozen.
Yeah.
That's where the money went. Not that money didn't go into the other rides,
yeah.
That's the big one. I didn't stop recording on the camera I've got for the whole ride, and it was more than 6 minutes long. Longest ride by far. It's a little like drops and stuff, but not so scary that I think kids would be afraid. There were like 500,000 animatronics, incredible stuff. Unlike the one in Disney World where it's the projection on the face. So I actually don't mind. I know a lot of people have a problem with it. but this was the real deal.
We really liked it.
That was incredible.
Yeah. So as tourists in Japan, it would almost be criminal for us not to go and look at the vending machines here in Fantasy Springs. I'm standing outside of them now. They're in the Peter Pan area of the Fantasy Springs area, and let's admire the theming. Guys, the prices are outrageously good. We're paying about $2.50 for a lemonade. Oh, and it seems like we can use our card that we use for public transport. How easy.
Okay, we have just sat here having a refreshing drink. It is only 25 degrees today, but so incredibly sunny. It's very hot. And we fortunately each picked up another standby pass. We did one each. We thought we'd have more luck searching for one person rather than two. I don't know if it necessarily makes a difference. I feel like it wasn't showing up that frequently either way, but we did manage to snag one each at pretty much the exact same time. I will be going on Peter Pan again, and Rosh will be going on Anna and Elsa's Frozen journey again. So two of our favorites. Tinkerbell is still evading us. We can try again at 3:30 for another one, so fingers crossed we can get on the fourth and final ride today. But this has otherwise just been a perfect day. We've ticked off our goal of getting merchandise, we've ticked off our goal at eating at one of the restaurants, we've ticked off our goal of riding some of the rides, and we're having the most magical day ever, so it really doesn't get much better than this. Okay, Rosh is off riding Frozen for the second time, and I thought I would do something a little bit different. I mean, there are many things Tokyo Disney is known for, but one of them has to be their many flavors of popcorn. And there is a popcorn stand here in Fantasy Springs with its own unique flavor. Now, last time we were in Tokyo Disneyland, back in 2019, we tried so many different flavors of popcorn. We tried soy sauce and butter, Chinese chili, caramel, curry, you name it, they have a flavor for it. So I decided I had to try the flavor they have here in Fantasy Springs, roast beef popcorn. I can't say this would be top of my list of popcorn flavors that I've ever dreamed of having, but I have to try it while we're here. I have to say, obviously there are the standby passes to get on the rides, which makes everything so much more efficient, but that was the longest line I've waited in all day. That was a very long line. It took a while, about 10 to 15 minutes to get to the front, but very efficient. When you join the line, they give you a piece of paper and then they help you fill it out, indicating exactly what you want and how you're going to pay. So by the time you get to the front, you hand them a piece of paper, they already start preparing what you want and they prepare the payment method. So if it's card, they'll straight away get the card machine set up. It's just so efficient here in Tokyo Disney. It makes everywhere else in the world look really just like they're lagging behind. But let's try this roast beef popcorn. Sounds really stupid of me, but it really tastes like roast beef.
Wow!
It's really like roast beef, and roast beef flavored popcorn is just a really bizarre concept for my brain to wrap its head around. A lot of people do buy the souvenir popcorn bucket. It is a Peter Pan themed popcorn bucket. You can find this stand in Peter Pan's Neverland. There's something really cool you can do. Say you really want the Peter Pan popcorn bucket, but you really don't like the sound of roast beef flavoured popcorn. When you buy a popcorn bucket here in Tokyo Disneyland or Tokyo DisneySea, it will come full of whatever popcorn is at the stand you are buying it at. Now, say you really want the Peter Pan popcorn bucket, but you really don't like the sound of roast beef flavoured popcorn, you can actually buy the bucket and get a voucher for popcorn, which means you can take that voucher to a different stand throughout the park with a more appealing flavour of popcorn, and they will fill your bucket up for free, as that the cost of the popcorn is included in the price of the bucket. Now, if you eat all that popcorn and you do want a refill, you do have to pay for your refills. It's not unlimited refills, but it's something really cool if you want a specific bucket throughout the park, but you don't want the flavour of popcorn that is at that popcorn stand. So it's really good to know. You will never believe it, guys, but we have had some luck. We will be eating at the Royal Banquet Hall in Arendelle. Rosh managed to get a mobile order in, although she's currently on the Peter Pan ride for the second time, and we have about 8 minutes left in our window, so hopefully we can hurry over and pick our food up in time. It was very hard to get a food reservation at this time of day. Somehow Rosh did it, and we're gonna have some dinner. Pretty excited. The inside of this banquet hall is absolutely massive and certainly very royal looking. There is also this outdoor seating area, which I will show you. So if you're wanting to get a bit of fresh air out here, a little less regal in my opinion, but this main hall leads into another big hall. There are all these like old style paintings on the walls. There's another room behind me. This is unbelievably big and so pretty. I have to say they've really nailed the theming in the counter service restaurants in Fantasy Springs. If you're not going to have a big fancy sit down restaurant, this is the way to go. It allows so many more people to get to enjoy the theming. It's pretty incredible.
Your Highness, Queen Elsa herself has branded your pie.
I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less.
Furthermore, Sir Olaf has made your mousse. Anna, she's just here for a good time. She wishes you the best. Should we eat this?
Mm-hmm. So quick. I've gone for, I think it was called like the Royal Set. Now it comes with 2 different alternatives. You can get a beef pie or like, I think it was like a seafood type pie, but it comes with a whole bunch of stuff. I've got a dessert, I've got whatever this is, some sort of salad, a drink. It was not cheap. It was 3,500 yen, which is about 35 Australian dollars. But this is kind of the main thing you get here. All the other stuff is a bit smaller and not really themed. So we thought we've definitely got to try this set while we're eating in the Royal Banquet Hall. But we definitely feel a bit underdressed. We were super stressed in the lead up to the opening of Fantasy Springs, particularly before we booked our Disney hotel. We just thought we were going to come all this way, turn up on the day, and not even be able to get into Fantasy Springs. But honestly, we really like your chances of getting in, guys. All day we've seen standby passes turning up on the app. We even just got one at 6 p.m. that just popped up. You just have to have the patience to keep refreshing. So really don't be disheartened if you get in the park in the morning and there's nothing available. Just keep refreshing because stuff has been popping up all day. We've each been on Peter Pan twice. We had our Premier Access for Frozen. Rosh has been on Frozen again. I'm about to go on Frozen again. And we went on Rapunzel together. So all of that, I'd say the Premier Access was due to staying on site. Everything else has just been refreshing, which means anyone can do it, no matter what time you arrive in the park or anything like that. So I really like your chances of being able to get into Fantasy Springs. The other thing I will say as well is if you rock up at the park at opening and the earliest time you can get a standby pass for or a Premier Access for is in the evening, don't stress that you're not going to be in Fantasy Springs until the evening. When you go to your standby pass, your Premier Access pass, it'll tell you what time you can make your next booking. So if you make a booking at 8:30, it might say you can make your next one at 9:30, which means you don't have to wait until the evening. Again, if something pops up, you can enter even earlier, leave again and come back in the evening for that time, which is super helpful as well. We utilised that today. We left, popped out to a few shops, came back in, and it's super helpful. So I've been pleasantly surprised at the number of passes available and still how low the wait times are. It's been great. Got my pie, this little smoked salmon salad. I think this is like potato gratin. Still not sure what that is. Maybe I'll start with this bad boy. I think it's just bread. Just a bread roll. I thought it might be like a pork bun, but not a pork bun. But no, I think it's just a bread roll.
And I've just gone with a very basic vegetable curry. It smells pretty good.
Not bad. I'm not a big beef pie person, but I did want to try the set. And while I will finish off my dinner, I wanted to try some of this mousse before it melts a little bit. And there's kind of mochi on top as well. Maybe I'll just show you my fingers.
Yeah.
There's a lemon.
Oh.
And then loving the lemon desserts here in Fantasy Springs. But it's actually quite nice. It's quite refreshing.
Is that good or bad?
Good. It's obviously chocolate on the bottom. I'd read that it was like a marshmallow type thing, which kind of makes sense. But then, I don't know, there are marshmallows on the inside. I don't know, but it's really freaking good. Now, I'd seen this online and I wanted to order it. We couldn't find it without getting the set, so I think maybe it only comes with the set. But maybe over time they'll introduce it as another option. But like I said, the big focus here is on getting the set, so recommend. This potato-y thing, it's like small potatoes, like a creamy cheesy sauce, and I actually felt like I got a hint of like pesto at the end, so I'm not sure if that's just my mind playing tricks on me. But there is green stuff on top, so I might be right. A hint of like basil. It's good. I'm the ice queen.
Starting to get dark here in the Kingdom of Arendelle. The street lamps are turning on. It's really, really beautiful. But what's really standing out to me is Elsa's ice castle in the distance, lighting up in this ice-cold blue.
So if you are planning a trip to Fantasy Springs in the upcoming weeks, this is our experience in terms of what was the most popular, which ride you should go for Premier Access, which ride you should go for standby for. So by far the hardest ride to get a standby pass for was Tinkerbell. We have not got it. I think we'll be leaving without riding that ride, unfortunately. We had it pop up once today. We were refreshing pretty much all day, at least one of us. Popped up once, and by the time we clicked on it, it was gone. Now, my guess as to why that is so hard to get is because that is the only one of the 4 rides we cannot get a Premier access for. So the only way to ride that ride is with that standby pass, making it extra difficult to get. So that is by far the hardest one. I believe it's the most kid-friendly ride. I think that's tailored more to younger people, but very difficult to get. The easiest one to get was definitely Peter Pan. That was popping up all day, which surprises me because it is a really good ride, but that was definitely the easiest, followed by Rapunzel's Lantern Festival and then Frozen. My suggestion to you would be in the morning, if you're going to get a Premier access, get Frozen. That one sold out by far the quickest this morning. It is, in our opinion, probably our favorite ride of the 3 that we've done. And then my suggestion would maybe be to get a Tinkerbell standby if you can, because like we said, we've been trying all day. It's now, I think, almost 7 p.m. and we have still not managed to snag a standby pass for that ride. So maybe getting that early is the way to go. And like I said, Peter Pan and Rapunzel have been popping up intermittently pretty much all day. But that was just our experience today. It could be completely different on the day you go. And obviously if there is a ride you are desperate to do, prioritize doing that first, worry about the rest later. But just in case you were curious, that was what we found today. I also thought it was worth pointing out, even though Frozen's Premier Access was the first to sell out very, very quickly, we actually both managed to get standby passes for it as well. So we did our Premier Access together, and then we opted to try and get rides one by one because we thought it might be easier to get a single pass or single person onto each ride. Rosh ended up getting one earlier, and then she ended up getting one for me while we were at dinner. So they do pop up, but definitely not as frequently as Peter Pan or Rapunzel.
Guys, as we mentioned, we stayed at the Miracosta last night for the first time, and that means that we have a full hotel tour review video coming your way. We're gonna put some Japan videos out first before we get to that video, and then we have a lot more Disney videos coming too. We go to Disneyland tomorrow, and then we're definitely coming back to DisneySea. So if you're not already subscribed and you like our content and you like Disney, make sure you subscribe, because if you didn't know, we're big Disney fans. Also, on the down low, there may or may not be another Disney trip planned for this year. That's all I'm gonna say. Now, everyone knows we love a theme park that gets even better at night. For example, Pandora in Animal Kingdom.
I love Pixar Pier in Disney's California Adventure.
True. And I think that Fantasy Springs is definitely going to be an area that gets better at night. The only way Rapunzel's forest could become even more tangled themed would be if at night the lanterns all lit up, and you can see that they have. If you time your ride,
it's been a long day, guys.
I think if you time your ride on Rapunzel's Lantern Festival perfectly, the perfect time would be to ride it when it's dark. Because as you walk in, you're walking underneath lanterns, and they're all lit up right now. That is very beautiful.
Another kind of subtle touch we've noticed here in the Tangled area at night is the lights are now on in Rapunzel's tower, as you can see up the top, which is such a cool touch. Obviously would not be sitting in the dark at night, though. The volcano here in Peter Pan's Neverland is actually steaming a little bit at night, and it's got a bit of a red glow. I didn't notice it during the day, so maybe it's a night touch, or maybe I just wasn't very observant, but it looks really cool now that it's a bit darker.
What's your favorite volcano at DisneySea?
Oh, it's still got to be Mount Prometheus.
Guys, as we've said, we've got a lot of future Disney videos coming from Tokyo Disney Resort. And I'm just gonna say, make sure you subscribe, because we might have a giveaway coming up involving one of these pretty cool hats. Isn't that right, Stacey?
I don't know. You'll have to subscribe to see.
It's that time of day where I think we need to ask, did we meet all of our goals we set out this morning? We got to go on the Frozen ride. We got to go on the Tangled ride. We certainly bought some Fantasy Springs merchandise. We ate at a Fantasy Springs restaurant. Lastly, did we have a magical day? We did. It was an incredible time. It worked out so well for us. We got to do almost everything we wanted to do. We absolutely cannot complain. And I think it was the perfect way to celebrate as we approach our anniversary of the full year of travel we have done. Celebrate with us down in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. What was your favorite thing about Fantasy Springs? And don't worry, we'll be coming back to Fantasy Springs. I want to know, how far do we walk today?
I think 14 kilometers, and that's pretty crazy considering, aside from getting to Fantasy Springs, we were pretty much just in Fantasy Springs the entire day, so
Yeah, big day. But in the meantime, YouTube thinks that you're going to like this video next, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye!